Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
that
fuck.
sucked.
That sounded violent.
I was. It really wasn't. It was. It was a bottle. I had to get a bottle instead of a can because right when I went down there, the shop for our dorm room was closed. So,
Yikes.
matter of
Well,
fact, when I was walking down there, I think the fucker was walking upstairs. So, should have grabbed him by the neck and forced him to open the door for me.
alrighty then. You're getting more
Yeah.
violent as the days go by. What is college doing to that infantile mind of yours?
It's doing fine. It's making me more creative
That's good. That's good.
in morbid ways.
We've noticed,
That's
and
also good.
we're concerned. We're thinking about bringing an actual licensed therapist onto the
Oh,
podcast.
interesting. This is so using my own podcast as an intervention tool. That's something.
Well, yeah, we can at least, gain some popularity and money off of your mental health crisis.
Yeah, I guess so. Why not?
I mean,
Should
everyone,
yeah,
yeah,
we
everyone.
should just use everyone's mental health. Every week we just come up with a new problem.
My problem is that I didn't know I had a problem, but I guess now I'm aware. Uh,
Well,
a new fear of mine. I think I've reaffirmed it in my life. Being out of my body or out of control of my own body, like in a trance-like state almost. Long story short, I took drugs, and drugs had an interesting effect. Psilocybin mushrooms, so that people don't think I'm an actual fucking meth addict. But
well, yeah. I mean that was my fear, and it still is with substances. That's why I was more of standoffish when it came to it. At least one of the reasons.
yeah, I mean, there are two ways to think about it. One, it either changes you or it just reveals a part of you that you already had within you. I'd suppose the second way of looking at it is the more productive and healthy way. But yeah, that whole experience feels weird to even think about. Reality is still slowly feeling normal again to me over time.
Right.
I don't know. It's like it has the same memory problem as being drunk does, as in like chronologically things just don't make sense. The overall sense of time just feels really off. Uh, Simple shit became hard to do, like trying to hook up a fucking PlayStation to a TV or input a PlayStation code so that you could have PlayStation Plus. That was just rough.
Yeah, and I was telling you, I was talking to you during some of the experience, and we were talking about having a gang day at the establishment that I'm at currently, and I was mentioning, hey, it might be a good idea that you go to a parking garage, and then you said that's too complicated for you, and mentioned something of like having to call it off because of it, or it made it sound like you were just gonna call it off because the parking garage would be too difficult.
I don't remember that.
Sure. Let me pull up the transcripts here.
I remember us talking about me trying to set up my PlayStation and that being rough. Basically, from both of the two other people on this podcast can confirm I was interesting to talk to. The few videos I have of myself as well, one of them I'm in a good mood. It's when I first went outside and was enjoying the winter scenery. And
To
then
me,
the other one is me just slowly melting and not in a good way.
it just felt like you were turning into like morphing into Elijah.
If that's what it's like, then no wonder he is miserable.
Jesus.
It wasn't a good experience. I don't look back on that favorably. I didn't do anything really enjoyable. The most fun I had was like the 10 minutes before I was supposed to play games with you while I was just listening to music. My sound system was really fucking top notch on drugs. But just as soon as I had to do something else, and I had to turn off the music, then I started getting just, I don't know, I started feeling like shit. And I ended up trying to go to sleep or return to my room and basically put myself into like, okay, I'm about to go to sleep. I gave myself a hard reset. And then after like an hour of just lying in bed, not existing, finally got back up and was just like, okay, I paid $80 for this experience. If I have to sit outside in the fucking cold, I'm
Right.
gonna do that.
So I did find it. I think it was you were confused on gang day, I guess. Uh, well, okay. So let me get some of this. Road should be decently salted now, and my tires aren't bad. Oof, I wish you luck. Really?
Oh, that
And then
that wasn't.
question mark. Oh, wish you luck. What do you mean? You're the one driving.
I remember that now. I wasn't. I think that was the same day, but the overall effects, the potency of it had dramatically worn off. I'd felt
Really?
decently normal by that point. I could
You
actually
felt
hold a
okay.
conversation.
You. It didn't seem like you could because it was. All right. So for the 19th, though, I'm going to have to drive you back to the cities, or we're not going back to the town we're in. Gang day, college. Got it. Too much of a hassle for us both if we do it otherwise. And you said you could walk, and then I said I will. Actually, we will be walking all day. You'll have to go to a parking garage. And then you said, bruh, like, the fuck? I don't know. That shit doesn't sound tight.
I was being intentionally fucking stupid with that. That I
That's,
remember.
I thought you were still high. So,
No,
so I
I
said,
was.
after that, it was, I'll talk to you when you sober up.
I thought you said that jokingly. I didn't know you were being serious with
I
that.
was being serious because it just, I thought that was a part of it. Like,
I was
you
in my
got
mind. I
worse or
was
something.
in
Because
my mind. I was thinking this is Stetson talk right here. This is funny to me at the moment.
I mean, it would have been maybe in the context it was in at the time, and if I knew that you weren't, you know,
I mean, I guess I didn't really
that you were so
communicate. I was much more coherent than I had been a few hours prior.
right.
It was so weird. Like text messaging or texting was a bit easier than having to actually talk to someone in person. I felt like I couldn't speak. I normally your brain, before you even know what you're saying, you have an idea of what you're gonna say, and then the process to make that point, your brain just autofills the words. At least that's how it is for me half the time. I don't think about the specific words I say. I just have the idea, and then I autopilot it more or less. Uh, Autopilot was gone for me unless I really thought about every fucking word I was going to say. I wasn't coherent. I didn't make any sense after like the first three sentences. Nothing connected. It was a meh experience.
So it was like you're being born again.
I don't know about that. I felt like I was dying or just having a pretty shit time. I remember my mood had dramatically taken a dip and it just started to spiral on itself a little bit.
Well, I mean, maybe that's how babies feel, having
Well,
to
yeah.
learn everything.
I mean, breathing was still fine. I just overwhelming dread. I think that's the feeling I was experiencing. Uh, Plus, my phone. I was on my phone probably too much, looking at people's faces, in particular Molly's face. It was like a kaleidoscope, and it was fucking weird. I don't say that lightly. Having a person's face be triple, it's interesting. The only other prominent visual effects I had noticed was like anytime I went to go to the bathroom, everything looked like it was being traced over, like my reality was being drawn as I was looking at it. Not like in complete detail, just It's very minor. I don't know. There's probably videos online that can describe it better than I can with my words, but yeah, overall, pretty shit experience, not gonna lie. I'm stubborn, so I'm not writing off mushrooms forever, but I am making a mental note to not just take drugs willy-nilly when I know that these are the kind of things that you have to have intent and purpose with doing.
Yeah. Or if you have a BF1 match that you set up prior.
Yeah. Even if I had all right, even if I had managed to somehow, if like my PlayStation was already working before that and I literally just had to load up BF1, I wouldn't have been able to communicate at all. I don't know if jo
I kind of felt like even if you could play with me on there, it would just be I would just be medic the whole time, and I would just be trying to save you constantly, like I'm playing with my little
yeah,
sister.
I wouldn't be able to do anything. I could barely have a conversation with anyone, much less use a controller efficiently.
So it's like not learning how to walk, but learning how to do everything else again. Like it's just you.
Not even. I knew how to do shit, or I had the
It's
idea in
just
my
it
head
was
of,
just more difficult for it. It felt more
yeah,
limiting to do
like
things.
simple shit was hard, and I was getting frustrated with myself that that's why I had to just say, okay, I can't, I'm not doing it because I was getting more and more frustrated with myself that I couldn't
If I
connect my PlayStation to the internet, and I was just feeling worse for it.
if
And I
that
know if I
happened,
kept on doing it, it would just escalate.
if I feel like if that happened to me, if I had the same experience, I would there would be a couple holes in the wall or something like that.
Yeah, except I didn't feel anger. I don't
You
feel anger on psychedelics.
interesting,
It's hard to feel anger on psychedelics. I
but
don't
you
think I've
felt
ever felt
frustrated.
frustrated with myself that I was just failing to
Oh.
do simple shit.
Well, for me, frustration and anger falls hand in hand. So,
It was more like despairing at the fact that I couldn't do things that I would be able to do perfectly fine while sober.
so
And
like
I was
more of
wondering,
like yeah, just what you're just like upset about it.
I was just wondering why is this getting difficult? Why can't I do this? Why am I freezing up? Why is my brain not thinking in a logical process of how to do this? I don't know what I'm
So it would
doing.
have been easily or really easy to mug you then at that moment.
Yeah, yeah, it would have. I'm not gonna lie. It anytime I've been on psychedelics, I'd say it'd have been really easy to mug me. There's only been like maybe a few times where, I mean, there's been a couple of times where I've been at the most intense part of it. No, I was just enjoying life too much. I have no reaction speed. Yeah, it was a interesting experience, not one that I want to be repeated in the exact same way again.
No, it's always interesting to hear those experiences, no matter who it comes from. But I mainly only heard it come from you, so I think it's to me it's not like something inherently special, but it's pretty neat that I have on hand like someone that I know that has anecdotal about it.
That's how I feel about you in college, honestly. uh, I
I
can
haven't
go
said
on and
much
on,
about
but
college though, so I mean, fair enough,
I
I
I
guess.
get the gist of it.
But yeah, it's just more high school.
Yeah. See, at least my shit isn't more high school. It's more weird shit. Again, uh, between the two, mushrooms or LSD, LSD is I prefer it more. I think
Right.
the visuals are more interesting. Uh, you're, you do have that massive serotonin crash the day after, but the same thing happened with mushrooms as well. I don't know. I can think about it and speculate too much. It's
But
just the kind of.
isn't there something called like a dopamine reset, or is that a serotonin reset or whatever?
I mean, there's dopamine detoxes
Yeah,
and
detox. That's
such.
what I. Is that something similar, or is that?
No. So what I mean by serotonin crash, okay, so let's go with acid as an example. That drug not only has all of the psychedelic and interesting effects on you and whatnot, but it also does chemically boost the serotonin levels in your brain unnaturally high so that you feel uh, insanely happy, for lack of a better word coming to mind. You feel on cloud nine, more or less. Your brain doesn't feel this happy normally. The day after, or yeah, typically the day after you've slept and the substance is worn off, is your brain going back to its regular state of operating. It got used to that high. That became the new normal, and now that you're back at what you're normally at, it feels so much worse. The best way to
Oh,
describe
yeah.
it, it just feels like a depression debuff, or a what is the point of doing anything, or I feel like shit debuff. I was
So it's
doing.
so it's like the opposite result you want then.
Oh yeah, it's you don't. No one enjoys the day after. There's nothing fun about it. The point is that you really don't have fun. Your brain just doesn't feel happy or joyous about anything. The only thing that really saved that day for me from being complete and utter shit was the fact that I'd gotten to see our other co-host Molly after like about a week and a half or so of not being able to see her. It helped to bring a fair amount of happiness back into the day, but otherwise everything just felt fucking aggravating, frustrating, pointless. I don't have the motivation to do anything, but I can't just sit and do nothing all day. I can't.
Yeah.
So it's like it's honestly worse than a hangover because with a hangover it's all just physical. You have a headache and whatnot, but at least you still have a will to live more often than not.
Yeah, I
It's
mean, I've felt some of that, and I haven't even taken any of it. So I
I
mean,
mean
it's
it's
not always
basically
just drugs.
no, it's natural things can produce it as well. Depression obviously produces this lack of serotonin feeling or a lack of joy from anything. But normally I'd say I can find my own happiness. I don't wake up sad. I'm normally pretty decently okay with myself. It's a middle ground. So then having it dip into the negatives, so to say, this feels really off.
Yeah.
I don't know. Other parts of it that were weird is just nothing feels real. Derealization, I believe that's the term. Uh, Becoming out of touch with your own reality. I mean, even still, it feels like I'm slowly coming back to just not overthinking everything. My brain is once again not over analyzing every single thing that I'm doing or thinking, what's the point of this? It's just how life is. I've stopped, as the days go on, I stop questioning the ridiculousness of everything, which makes everyday existence a lot easier, I should say. Yeah, that's been about my big experience. Overall, I'd rate it a 3 out of 10. I
Yeah.
had some fun. I had some fun moments, but the most fun I had was listening to music for about 15 minutes and exploring outside the first time, and then the third time when I just resolved to be fuck it. I can't sit inside. I have to be doing something physical.
Yeah. How the fuck does that happen? I had a point I was just gonna bring up.
Psychedelic drug.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it
Oh,
was. We could do like a whole rating thing like we did for the Thanksgiving one, as we like all three slowly dip into trips.
I mean, overall, my overwhelming dread and panic about my body acting without me meaning to, that definitely didn't feel great. I One of my friends, Ramsey, I was texting him throughout most of the experience. I remember even as I was texting him, why am I texting him? I'm not meaning to. It's like my body is acting without my mind meaning it to, but I'm still saying these things.
We should we should get a hold of that. what, that one substance that Vsauce tried. But
Ayahuasca.
like, is that what that is?
Yep,
And
that's
then
what he took.
it what doesn't it like kind of puts you in a position that you're just honest?
From what I remember, ayahuasca is basically a liquid form of DMT. I think it lasts longer. I'm not sure if I don't remember in the video if he was feeling any more honest or if he was not really able to talk.
No, I remember they were asking him questions. And there's a reason for that, and they were like asking him like, uh, I I'm not even a good source for this, but they were asking him stuff like he was like people could make white lies about.
Hmm.
What?
You kind of cut out there,
No, he didn't.
or
Uh,
you just stop. You stopped talking, I should say.
they were asking him stuff that they people would normally make like white lies about. Like, what are your thoughts on the show or something like that?
Yeah,
And then he, I think it, I think it was the one. Well, let me just be a fucking idiot here.
well, I can kind of.
Drug that makes you honest.
Well, there's. It's not even the drug itself that can do it. It's your own mental state. I remember my first time
Yeah.
smoking marijuana. I had this overwhelming desire to be honest. Not that the drug does that to you, but the way your mind can start to think about things.
Oh, here it is. The quote unquote truth serum, but it's the okay. Scopol scopolamine, scopolamine, also known as hyoscine or devil's breath,
Sounds familiar. Yeah, yeah.
formerly used as a medication for treating motion sickness and post-operative nausea vomiting. It is also sometimes used before surgery to decrease saliva. Uh, what the fuck? Dry mouth, drowsiness, dizziness, decrease, sweating, constipation, mild itchiness, redness. Application site maybe. What the fuck? does scopolamine get you high? It's a recreational drug. Some party drug enthusiasts experiment with devil's breath because of euphoric and hallucinatory effects. Oh, not only do the drugs' effect leave the victim vulnerable to sexual assault, but also wipes their memory,
Yeah.
even for a period. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, substances, they can do strange fucking things. When I was on the mushrooms, I easily could have been taken advantage of. I couldn't think, basically. Thinking became really difficult, which is normally
Yeah.
fine, but it was if you prepare yourself to be able to not think and not have to require much thought, you can have fun with it. But if you're still trying to exist like how you normally do while you have your right mind to you, you're gonna have a rough time with it.
Right. Okay. But I don't. I mean, I don't understand the whole reason why you do it recreationally. Then, if it just wipes your memory.
People, I don't know. Some people like blank spots in their memory.
Why? That's just scary.
Yeah,
Like
that's part of the appeal. Psychedelics as a whole are kind of terrifying to me, especially having experienced them, how out of it they can make you feel. Part of it is terrifying, yet another part of it is also exhilarating and how completely fucking out of the normal it makes you feel. Nothing else on earth is really like it. It's in its own category of highs, I guess you can say. Experiencing reality a different way for a short while. And when you live your regular life every day, you get used to how things are. Having a change is to some people, having a change in any way is addicting.
Right. Yeah, that's. I mean, yeah, the drug I guess Vsauce used was
Ayahuasca.
ayahuasca. I'm trying to figure this. Yeah, and trying to see what that does. Because I thought there was a reason why they're asking him like specific questions.
Well, it could also just be to see how his mind operates while on psychedelics, see
Well,
if
yeah.
it's any different than normal.
Many people who have taken ayahuasca claim that experience led to positive long-term life-altering changes. Wow. May benefit brain health, but it could also kill you.
Yeah. I think it can. I'm not sure if I don't believe the substance itself is toxic, but your body can have a bad reaction, as in throwing up. And if you don't have someone there to turn you on your side, then you can choke on your own vomit.
Yeah. Would you be a Walter White or would you turn him over?
You know what? Even if it's a random person, I'd probably turn him over if I understood what was happening. Why I don't have a desire to just let someone die if saving their life is as easy as flipping a fucking coin.
Yeah. I mean, it's if it doesn't like. I mean, it's only beneficial if you do that. There's no downs unless you're like turning Hitler to the side or something.
I mean, either way, I can just rob them, alive or dead. So
Yeah. That's
I don't know.
that's your price for saving their life.
Yeah, money me.
I'm trying to figure out what effects that it did on him. It's not really saying. It's just like psychedelics. It looks like. I mean, it's DMT, so it's just psychedelics. Is that what DMT is?
I think it's just plant-based ayahuasca. Ayahuasca is the liquidized, or it's extracted from the root of DMT plant. I think I'll have more information when I actually start deep diving into my psychedelic project, but from what I remember briefly on YouTube videos and whatnot, yeah, it's they're pretty similar, but ayahuasca lasts much longer in the system. DMT, for all intents and purposes, in real time only lasts for 15 to 20
Well,
minutes.
isn't it like a
But
form of DMT?
yeah, it's a sister drug, so to say.
Oh, okay.
Similar, but it does have some key differences that warrant getting its own name and its own. I know with what the biggest one, DMT, you can smoke. Ayahuasca is a liquid that you can drink. In terms of like actual effect differences, uh, I don't recall any offhand, except DMT sounds very fucking interesting, as in seeing entities, your entire reality being changed before your very eyes. With acid, it makes everything really pretty. It's like I get to see the world in 8K definition, and colors and shit just seem more vibrant. With mushroom, there's like slight visual changes to it. I'm not seeing normal reality. I'm seeing a different lens, so to say. DMT sounds like a complete fucking jump. With mushrooms, you have slight additions to your reality or new things, but with DMT, it completely changes your vision and your the idea that you're actually where you're seeing. While on the drug, you're not thinking, okay, I'm seeing this, but I know I'm back home or I'm wherever I was. No, your mind is completely where your sight is seeing.
Yeah.
I could go on. This is the psychedelic episode, it
Yeah, I was
seems.
just gonna say this is the substance podcast, guys.
This is great because there's out of the three people on this podcast right now, I'm okay. I guess you two have tried certain one that isn't morally looked down upon really by anyone.
I don't know what you're talking about exactly. Oh, we do have a comment uh, from Myron Bryn. He
Oh,
said VARK .tech.
what?
It's a bot. But I appreciate you writing in anyway.
Cool. We have bots watching us. That's fucking awesome.
Dude, this is the future podcast. We're living in 2032.
Nice.
Government chill bots are watching us.
Um, no, I really wanted for my senior project take a tab of acid right before the project starts, and by the time the project is about to wrap up, then I can start to like experience the beginning effects of a trip. I won't have access to working drugs by then, and I feel like that'd be an interesting decision. But it had thought had crossed my mind.
If you were to do that, that's why I definitely want to be there, and then I'd film the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure at some point you'll see me on psychedelics at one point or
Well,
another.
I mean, in
Probably.
person, definitely, eventually, someday.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. There's too many still I want to try. Uh, just for curiosity's sake. Maybe I'm more bitch made than I thought with the mushroom experience kind of telling me that I'm not as invulnerable or that I maybe wasn't giving these substances the respect they deserve. To put it a bit of context, I found out the day of that I actually did or took the 4 grams. I found out, I think, 3 hours prior because a friend of mine had mentioned that someone on Snapchat had posted to their story that they were selling and that, my friend bought all what they had left and was like, okay, let's do some today. We're not working. I don't work tomorrow. Might as well. Normally, my thought process behind these experiences, and I've probably mentioned this before, but just to reiterate, I like to think about, okay, what is what am I looking for with this? Is this going to be a teaching experience? What's my end game here? What's my goal? I remember my first the day before I took my first ever psychedelic compound. The thought process was you only get to live once, and this is something I've been very interested in for a good while now, and I want to see what it's like. There's always a rationale behind the reason why I'm doing it, so to say.
oh yeah,
The quality of it is, that's up to personal interpretation, but this time it was just, fuck it, I don't work today. Let's do something interesting. Which, yeah, if going by my 3 out of 10 rating is anything to judge it by, not a great mentality.
I mean, it's something.
Eh. What about you? Would you ever, uh, would you ever try a psychedelic substance?
On the podcast, I'm gonna say definitive no. Uh, you could ask me on a later date and time.
Okay. Okay.
um, yeah.
What about you, Molly? Would you ever?
No.
All right.
Definitive no all around.
Um,
Yes,
has it
definitive
ever,
no.
has it ever, has the thought of it ever been curious to your mind, or have you ever wondered, or had a desire to maybe try?
No, well, I've been curious of what it would actually feel like, but never like yeah, one day I'd maybe want to try. No, it's just, I wouldn't want to be outside of my right state of mind.
That's
Yeah, I
fair.
mean that's how I was and might still be.
That's pretty fair.
So
That's how I was as well. And then I had a really bad panic attack my first time doing any sort of substance. So, uh,
so maybe it's a
not
good thing that you know staying
well.
away from it.
I mean, you get over the panic attack.
Well,
You
yeah.
come back a second time, and it's not as you know what you're expecting, so to say. But the first time, maybe it was for whatever reason, but I just had a shit time.
Holy mother
I
of
mean,
shit. The fuck?
language.
Sorry, I mean, as we're talking about substances, there's this game that I've always been interested in. Well, back in, like, since middle school. It's just like some obscure PS1 game
Hey, I know
called
it one. Yeah.
LSD Dream Emulator, and it's like $800 fucking minimum. The other one is
Yeah.
1,100. I mean, I get it, but I didn't know it was gonna be that much.
Yeah.
Okay, it looks like we can get a ROM. I mean, we could figure that out. Hell, we could do like a playthrough.
I think I mean, that could be fun at some point, buy one. Otherwise, I was gonna say, like, just in person, film an actual video podcast, all four, or I suppose all three of us, just in person. Except I get to walk you through what the fuck I'm experiencing.
I feel like a lot of that would be throwaway content. Like a lot, I'd have to
Yeah.
condense. It would probably be like a 5-minute video.
I wouldn't want to actually do that like that. I'd want to be outside for
Right.
that. A walking podcast.
I was talking about like just like an innocent game playthrough or something.
I could still be fun.
I could
Yeah,
straight up play this right now. The fuck? This feels illegal. I think it kind of is. Emulating a game? Fuck it, it's $800. Let's fill some of the viewers in about some recent developments. Might as well. So Carter and I were being pretty nosy, right?
Yeah.
And then we annoyed our other co-host.
Oh.
Elijah.
It was pretty funny. We, to put it plainly, had a counter to like any point he made, so he didn't really have anything aside from just "fuck you guys," which he couldn't say to us himself. Interestingly enough, I start tomorrow at the place that he's working at. That's going to be my job. I'm going to wake up at 5, go there, figure out what the fuck that'll be like. In a week's time, I'll be able to tell you what it's like.
I look forward to that. I'm curious what happens in that building.
I'm not excited.
Yeah, that's... To me, it sounds boring. I mean, he doesn't really go into detail with much at all, but to me, to what he said, it just sounds boring.
What I saw of what I'm going to be doing, which is the same thing that Elijah is doing. In fact, he's going to be my trainer. It's going to be boring. The one positive thing, though, that does make me feel a little bit happy about myself is that I'm starting off with a higher pay than him, and he's been there for almost 4 months, I believe. Granted, that's going to be changed soon, I believe, but it is still funny to me.
But he's working towards that promotion.
Yeah, well, we'll see it when
that
he
I
gets
wasn't supposed to know about, apparently.
Why? Okay. I forgot, because you're not involved. It's not your thing.
Well, I mentioned it to him, and then he was going on and like, "Oh, what promotion? Like
Bruh.
the promotion at your job? How did you? Okay, so like, let me guess. Molly told Carter, and then Carter told you. Yeah, that's normally how information spreads.
I don't understand.
And then he said, "Well, I mean, I don't care that you know, but." So I don't know. I don't know what that was.
That has the same energy of people that just refuse to talk about how much they make at a job. It's just sad. It's just
that pisses me off. I don't get it. Like, my brother won't tell me how much he makes. I mean, apparently that's like a thing that men do. Apparently, like, don't ask the men their pay. Don't ask the women their weight or something like that.
I'm asking you for your pay because I want to know if your job is fucking enjoyable for the amount of work you put in, or even just people that don't talk about money. I don't know.
Yeah,
I've seen.
It's good to establish it, especially if you're working at the same job. And like, hey, how much do you make over me? And if you make more, you find out that you're getting a bad deal, or vice versa.
I just don't understand Do you feel better that you're revealing how much money you're making? What? Like, I even asked my roommate, I think not too long ago, and I know he's making more than me. I think he's 20 an hour, if not 19. I think it's 20 an hour. I was just asking him, like, yeah, you're probably making more than double what I am. And he just refused to tell me. I'm pretty sure I only know it because I know someone else that has the same position as him, what they're making.
I mean, it's not personal. I mean, if you're in, it's not really embarrassing either. It's just,
If anything, it'd be embarrassing for me to reveal how much I'm getting fucking paid by comparison to half the time I'm asking people this question.
well, yeah. I mean, but even if people know the idea of your job, like you're getting like, okay, it's done, bros, so it's probably just gonna be minimum wage. I get it. That's fine. That shouldn't be embarrassing. But if you're like, let's say you're a straight up like a movie actor or something, and you're getting paid minimum wage, yeah, that would be embarrassing. I'd get why you wouldn't tell people. But I mean, at the same time, if you're like an actor and you're pretty high up there and you're getting paid minimum wage, it would be a good thing to tell people.
Yeah.
So again, I mean, it's even when I put the hypothetical to the extremes, it still doesn't make sense. So it's something that's confused me, but I haven't really brought it up. But I'm glad you did.
I don't know. People are fucking stupid. That'll be. It'll be nice though, because I'm pretty sure just because I'll be working 50-hour work weeks, actually a little bit more, because it's 10 and a half hours, uh, I'll be getting paid more than people that are actually making more than I am per hour, and it's just because I'm working myself to the fucking bone. So that's nice.
Yeah.
Overtime and yeah, what about 25 hours of overtime? I think it would be.
You know, the only sucky things about those jobs is, well, I mean, you get paid so much.
Yeah, you just
See,
don't have
the
time to
pay
spend
is,
money.
yeah, the pay is good. You feel like you've worked hard at the end of the day, so you feel good after work. But yeah, and then what? You only have 2 days of leisure, if that. If they don't ask you to come in.
Yeah,
But yeah,
which
you
I
make
won't.
so much, but like, what are you gonna do with it?
I mean, it kind of works for my moment, or for me at the moment. My plan is to save, as in not spend all of it, so it works, I guess. But
Yeah, put it towards your retirement.
no, I fuck that.
I don't even know what I'm gonna do for my retirement. There's like nothing set up, and I know
Same.
I'm not gonna get Social Security because they're probably gonna take that out. No matter how much our taxes goes to that at the moment, it's not gonna pay us back.
No. See, my plan is to break free of this 9 to 5 cult-like mentality and not have to work for someone else to afford my living. Breaking myself until I'm 65, at which point I can hopefully retire and enjoy my life. But wait, I'm fucking old. What the fuck can I do?
What are you planning on doing to do that?
You know what? Passive income or day trading or investing, something along that where my money is working for me.
That's what I've
I'm
been
making,
investing. I've been doing that every now and then. It's a learning curve, but I bet if I
yeah,
spent more time on it, I could probably learn it better.
you have to have a fair amount of money for a jumping off point.
Yeah, and then you have to know, you have to basically train it. So you have to start small, know how the system works, and good times to pull out your money and put money in, and fun shit. But I mean, that would be great. But I mean, doing that and then becoming rich off of that is very difficult if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
But I
I
mean,
know.
then again, I mean, anything is difficult if you don't know what you're doing. You can train yourself to do things. It's not
Exactly.
anti-motivation.
I'll figure it out. Maybe.
Well, what do you think I'm trying to do with all my dumb shit that I'm doing? You know, the podcast, the other project that I'm doing, and then I making videos. I'm trying to throw out everything and then seeing what sticks.
Fair. I mean, I guess that's what.
And then keep consistently doing it until it sticks.
Fuck, if it's all you really can do. If you want to
Yeah.
actually do something with your life, is try until you find something that you like. I don't know. My plan, once I'm done with NCA shit, maybe I'll get back into gaming. I have a fuck ton of games on Steam, or maybe I'll.
Yeah, you could get a capture card and then you could record footage on PS4.
Why would I do that? I have a almost $2,000. I think actually more than $2,000 was spent on my setup. It will be at some point in the future if I still plan on getting a webcam and a better headset and quality speakers and a microphone.
Right.
Maybe, you know what? Maybe that could be my path. Maybe I'll become a Twitch person.
Dude, I don't know. I think the future is YouTube Live.
Yeah, okay. All right, do the plug-in. All right, get it over.
Well, right now it seems like it because if you stream on Twitch, you're not allowed to stream on any other platform. Otherwise, your Twitch can get banned.
For massive Twitch affiliates, yeah, that is fucking stupid.
Yeah. I don't know. I tried Twitch. Matter of fact, this podcast was born on Twitch, but I hate it. I hate the platform.
No, yeah, I'm not a fan of it either. I don't care to ever watch live streams myself. So doing one would be interesting, but I don't know. I think I'm pretty good at like stealing the show or just talking longer than I should be. So it would work well for a live stream.
Talking longer than you should be, that's more quantity than quality, though.
Well, like everything I say is also pretty quality to it, so.
Somewhat creative, but.
You know what? That's. Shut up. All right. I'd have a live stream to refine.
You know, you watch one live stream, you've seen them all.
Okay. I can just become like Dr. Respect or some shit. I can't steal another person's gimmick.
What does he wear? Sunglasses or something?
I care about women. I think BLM is a good movement.
You're being sarcastic, right?
I'm being respectful.
You know, it's been a while since we've had a podcast where we just shit on each other and make just shit jokes. But I mean, that could be a good thing.
Yeah. You want to know what's also a good thing? Is that my cutoff time is approaching, and I kind of have to go to the bathroom.
I know. I've been watching that.
This works out for me. Yeah, I do. Well, you know, I'm not apologizing for shit. This was a psychedelic episode, I guess, and also I don't know. Next week episode will probably be more interesting because. Actually, wait, shit. No, there should. Yeah, there'll still be one next week.
Will there be?
Assume so. Assume so.
I would. Okay, yeah. Let's just. We don't have a viewer base. Whatever. Just fucking show up, I guess, if you want to.
I'll advertise it so we have viewers next time as well. All two of them that I.
And we should be putting up posters next Sunday too. So.
Sure. Yeah. This is Amadeus Kyouma.
You know, we didn't even do the intro, so yeah. This is your host Nocam.
Co-host Nocam.
This is the co-host Nocam for this episode at least.
True. And then our third co-host.
GymBagBob.
Woo. Toodles, motherfuckers.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Are we done being live?
No, I was gonna ask Molly some questions, but
wonderful.
Okay.
I have to take a shit.
Okay. Okay, you haven't talked all episodes, so I was gonna lean into when we were being annoying. And there's just something I want to cross off finally because I have a huge list of podcast topics that I want to just X out. So how is the apartment situation going between you and Elijah?
Nowhere.
Given after the whole situation, we gave you some time to talk. It was deemed that we were butting our noses too far into it. So, assuming you guys can handle it yourselves, I mean... It's gone nowhere so far.
The conclusion we came to is he's not going to move out anytime soon.
I thought it was just a month. I thought he said to give him a
He
month.
said the earliest would be a month that he'd feel ready to move out.
So then he'd feel ready by January then.
He said at the earliest, but he also wasn't sure if he would be or not.
So it's not even a no.
No, it's not a no. It's not a yes. It's a maybe still after all the pestering you and Carter have done.
Well, I can't do it anymore because it's just gonna be harassment at that point. We did all we can do. That's why I was pushing you. Like, hey, find a single apartment. Which how's that been going then?
I have not been motivated for the fact that I had COVID. Anything.
Okay, now that
was too much work.
Are you still sick?
No.
Okay, now that you're not sick, how are you, by the way, after COVID? Did you lose your taste?
I did lose my taste and I lost my smell. I'm slowly getting my taste back. Still can't smell a thing.
Good? With a question mark? I mean, some people haven't even gotten their taste back after getting it initially, like a year ago or something. Yeah, I mean,
I know someone that got it a year ago that still can't taste.
Yeah, that's good for physical health. You're just eating for fuel at that point.
Yeah, no, it wasn't fun eating. I had no appetite whatsoever. Food.
Yeah, there's no motivation.
Seemed gross. No.
Yeah,
I tried eating cereal one day, and it was just mush with a thick liquid.
Yep.
And it was nasty.
Yeah, there's a video on some guy who lost his taste, and he just he doesn't eat food that gets that's repetitive to eat, like steak, like really chewy steak.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's could get annoying. But good thing you're getting it back. I mean.
Mhm.
And I'm surprised I didn't get sick after that either. Because it turns out my mom and you had it, and I was around you both.
Wait, your mom also? That's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's sketch for me, because I was just waiting. When am I going to get it? Am I going to get it? The people who got COVID here, or at the college I'm at, if you get it, you have to quarantine yourself for 2 weeks. You're not allowed to leave your room. If you leave your room, you're getting kicked out. You can't leave for food either. Like, there's people who go days without eating, and then their friends, if they have any, will try and get them fed, but they can leave for the bathroom or water sometimes, though.
Well, at least that's a plus.
Yeah, but I don't know how they regulate that either. Like, how would they keep track? How would they know?
Yeah, that seems weird. But no, maybe you just are a carrier. You don't actually.
Yeah, maybe I'm just a cunt carrier. I just gave a couple people unknowingly. But just a disclaimer, I am vaccinated, so I don't think I had to quarantine myself.
Maybe the vaccine just worked.
Yeah. But except my mom was vaccinated as well. And then she got it. And she lost her taste. I have a immune system of a racehorse, all right? And just because of that, actually, I think that's actually what started me off running again. I've been running every other day since last week, and it's been great. I did one right before the podcast. That's part of my ritual, is I go for a run. That's what I did for the very first podcast. And then I take a shower, and then I'm ready for conversation. It wakes you up, especially if we're doing it this late. Which doesn't affect me anyway, since I've been up at 3 in the morning for a lot of days. but I'm trying to get my sleep schedule back. I'm trying to be a normal person. So, with that all being said, and now that you're feeling better, will there be an upkick in your motivation?
Hopefully.
It's good.
I think there will be.
Okay. I mean, if
Yeah.
not, then as soon as I get there, I'm gonna make you send some stuff out.
Alright, sounds good.
Unless you think I'd be, butting my head into a situation.
I'm not Elijah.
Maybe I'm too harsh on the guy, but like, I don't think he sees. I don't think he sees it as help.
We give him a lot of shit because he's just never around. So
Yeah.
it's easier for us to just have him be a punching bag.
Oh, definitely. I mean,
And then when things like this happen, we overreact because that's what we're used to.
well, yeah, but like, it still annoys me on a fundamental level that he doesn't see it as help. He sees it as annoyance or as a nuisance,
Yeah, I know.
and he refuses to see our side. We see his side. That's not enough. I don't know. Maybe I'm the problem, and I'm just too much of a asshole to see it.
See, I don't think you're the problem with it. I feel like Elijah just doesn't want an outside person. If he would have been moving in with you, yeah, you and him would have been having this conversation.
Well, yeah, but like, if it was with me, then there would be motivation on my end pushing him to do it. But since it seems...
I tried a little bit in the beginning, but then he just... Nothing.
Well, it needs
So
to go
it's
both ways, and that's what we're trying to tell him, is that it seems as though you don't want to. And then...
That's the vibe I got. That's why I stopped communicating with him.
And then when we're trying to, like, put both sides, like, okay, so if you don't move out, great. You're paying less, though he is paying rent. He's paying less for living where he is. He doesn't have to... I mean, I guess there's less self-reliance, and then he, doesn't have to worry about groceries. Mainly just financials. Great, he has the opportunity, wonderful. And then there's the other end we tried explaining was, okay, well, if you don't move out, who else can you move in with?
Yeah, that's...
And then when we brought up that side, it was, okay, well, it sounds like you're just trying to indoctrinate me into moving out.
Yeah, and anytime that was also brought up, he would just say something about how if you have someone else to move in with, go ahead. And it's just like, that's not what we're saying.
Yeah. It's... Context clues, I think, is difficult with them.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not much else to be said. I mean, we already know the answer. He just doesn't want to move out. It just would have been nice if he said it himself. But, I mean, I just find it...
It would be nice if he actually just, instead of giving a maybe.
Right. And I said, like, weeks ago, like, imagine he's, like, after all of this, he just says no. And I think just a maybe is worse.
It's not definitive then.
Yeah. It's not an answer. A maybe isn't an answer. It is a...
Can you imagine how much...
No, it's up in the air.
Look, for a greedy standpoint, can you imagine how much better gang days would be if he was in town, like, all the time? Like, the whole gang would be there. But, like, then again, I don't know. I don't want to be, like, completely absolute about it, but it seems like he's kind of squirming his way out of the friend group. You know, if you're listening to this in the future tomorrow, Elijah, and I magically upload it somehow tomorrow, which is very unlikely. So if you're watching this sometime in the future, listening, just, you know, definitive answer would have been nice. And
I'll be able to tell it to him
relationships go
tomorrow.
both ways.
I'll be able to say that to him tomorrow.
Just say that out of just the middle of training. Okay, so this is what you get. Definitive answer would have been nice. Huh? Yeah, that's...
I don't know.
I feel like
It'll
we're
be...
maybe like... I don't want to say too nice because we're assholes. But like... Maybe it's just me. I do a lot on one end, and then I receive no reciprocation on their end, and then all of a sudden it's...
You know, I think people are just lazy. I think that's, speaking from personal experience. Reciprocation is a lot of work. And it's...
But I mean, to a friend group, I mean, I don't think he has any other options for friends, unless he just doesn't want any.
Well, it's just seeming more and more the case.
He's very introverted.
Yeah, but even the most introverted introvert is an extrovert. We're social animals.
Maybe we're just not good friends to him in his eyes.
I mean, if we're not, then... You know what? I think the next gang day, we'll just have to sit down and talk. Say like, okay, we're all adults. We can talk about it. The fuck is your problem, dude?
What is your issue, man?
Are you actually interested in being in this friend group, or like what are you thinking?
And then we could just make it about the furry head.
It all started when...
It actually all started in 2018 when I'm too tired to hang out. But it just like kind of just slowly just keeps devolving.
I don't know. I don't blame him. Well, I don't know if I say I don't blame him. I do blame him. But I can understand just not having interest in putting an effort in a friend group. I can look at my former McDonald's friend group. Stopped putting in effort with the people that made up that friend group, and I'm not friends with them anymore. I wouldn't really say that I am. I can still have a conversation and hang out with them every now and then, but I'm not friends with people I used to be. It's just lack of care. It went both ways.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, you can get bored with a particular group of people.
It wasn't even, I suppose boredom could be one way to phrase it. I just think, I don't know, just...
Do you think it's boredom on his end, or do you think it's just...
lack of care?
Just lack of, I could be doing something better.
The way
I don't know what to say to us, I feel like, because he says we don't have real conversations in the group chat.
Which I don't understand, because a lot comes to fruition with those group chats, but...
The way I'm understanding it is, he works over the weekend, or during the week, and he just is exhausted during the weekend. Doesn't have the energy, or doesn't care to. Which is funny. I wonder if, actually I refuse to be broken down like that.
Yeah, I mean, I was the same way. I mean, it was, when I was living with my mom. What, in like senior year, nothing got done around the house. It was just fucking pigsty, no matter what. To an extent, I get it. Like, I actually understand it now more than before. It's still irresponsible because some shit just has to get done. But I mean, I understand more now that, like, okay, you're working all week. Your whole life is dedicated to this job, and you just want to just not deal with things around the house or deal with trying to, I guess, on his end, reciprocate or respond to things that aren't important to me.
But I mean, if you don't put in the effort, then who the fuck else will? I've realized that my roommate does very little, if any, cleaning. Yeah. What are my options? Complain about it to him, which would probably be the responsible thing to do. Make it more of a consistent effort, which he'd probably work with, but I feel like I shouldn't have to. So I've just resolved it. Okay, fuck it. I'll do it myself. Whatever. I'll keep this place clean for the both of us.
But I mean, that's what I'm doing with the friendship with him. I mean, he's still fun to, like, play with Rocket League and stuff. You know, on, you know, something like a console or, you know, he's like that one gaming friend that you never see at this point. But I mean, that's what I'm doing with him with the friend group, is that I just keep doing things and not expecting anything back. But at some point, you should start expecting something back. Like, at least, like, hey, I'm free this day. You guys want to hang out? But, I mean, if that's not going on, then, yeah. I don't know. Maybe we'll have to have a friend group conversation, and then we can bring it up to the podcast, and we have that. And we can be adults about it. We can do some adulting.
Why would I want to be an adult? You know, I can understand his motivation. Why the fuck would I want to be an adult for something I already have very little care for?
Yeah. Could this be the last Christmas with our co-host? That
will it even happen?
What are we doing for Christmas, by the way?
I don't know.
Probably play some Frank Sinatra. Get some eggnog. Is that about it?
Yeah. Maybe find a Christmas-themed movie or some shit.
Elf?
Okay.
No.
Christmas Vacation.
It's gotta be a bad Christmas movie.
Christmas Vacation? Oh, okay. If Christmas Vacation isn't bad, there's some parts of it that's...
I know. We can't watch that with you, especially during the leg scene. I mean, no, that's a Christmas story, isn't it?
Yeah, we can... I used to watch Christmas Vacation every year. It's just... I think that would be a good one. But like a legitimately bad one, then we'd have to get Peacock. I saw like a... What,
we're already starting off bad if you're mentioning Peacock.
Yeah. They have their version of like Hallmark movies. So we could start there. Or we could just straight go to Hallmark movies. And then go out in public and try to make our own Hallmark movie.
Fuck that.
I'm assuming this is going to be the day after Christmas then as well.
I mean, I'm assuming, right? I don't know my plans for Christmas. Nobody ever tells me anything, so.
I don't know what my plans are at this point.
Well, let's just assume that it's December 26th. When everyone... Yeah. When we have all the gifts wrapped. Because... Well, we're probably going to do the gift thing. Do you want to do it on the 22nd? Oh, wait, shit. People work.
Mm-hmm. What day of the week is the 22nd?
It's a Wednesday.
Wednesday?
We're going to have to do it during the week if we're going to do it on the 26th is a Sunday. Perfect. Day after Christmas.
Yeah, that's why I was asking.
I didn't know that Christmas was on Saturday. That's lines up pretty perfectly. We could do it on... Well, it's going to be open on the Christmas Eve, though. Is anything open on Christmas Eve, or is that just
Yeah, places are open on Christmas Eve.
okay? So we could do it 24th.
Mm,
Are we watching Kingsman that day then, or
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 let's
are we
assume
are
so.
we doing that on the 22nd when it comes out?
You're gonna be able to get here, or you're gonna be in town on the 22nd.
I'm gonna be in town by the 21st, I believe.
All right, then yeah, we can do that. I mean,
Just do
I'll
it
be
like after work.
I'll be free after 4:30.
Okay. Uh. Yeah, I guess we'll do that. Okay, we're just making plans at this point. At least we're letting our viewers know what's going on.
Wait, we're still live?
Yeah. You know, we appreciate you listening. Fuck off.
I haven't.
We appreciate
Have
you.
have I said anything that's been interesting?
No, I don't think they. It's just been updating them on what's live. Okay, we appreciate you listening in, whoever decides to, and have fun.